Welcome back, y'all.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Oh
my gosh, I missed y'all. Did you guys miss us?
Did you miss us?
We missed y'all.
We got some subscribers while we were away.
Yeah, we got over 100.
Shout out to
Shout
you
out.
guys.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for following us, our journey, our humble beginnings.
Humble. Humble.
Real humble. Our first video was humble. Yeah, that video. Anyways, thank you guys for following us along our journey. 100 subscribers may not be a big deal to a lot of people, but to me, that's a big deal.
Yes, very sweet.
Yeah, very sweet. We got a smaller YouTube channel that we're trying to grow, so we just appreciate you guys being a part of our journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It feels good to be back. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we cooked, right?
Welcome back. Yes.
Yeah.
It is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Hey, mental health awareness.
So that's what we're going to talk about.
We're going to talk about some mental health stuff because it's important to talk about.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why we took a little break.
Mm-hmm.
So it's relevant.
Yeah. I mean, we're cooking a really good meal. What are we having tonight?
Tonight we're having I guess a cauliflower, broccoli, spinach casserole. Is that what you would call it?
Yeah.
Wait, guys, I hate that word.
Casserole.
Casserole.
Casserole sounds so...
Casserole.
It sounds
I'm so old.
I know.
Like primitive.
We're having a mixed dish.
Well,
baked.
We're going to bake it and it's going to be good. We found this recipe on Instagram. This is also our first time trying to cook something like this.
Yeah, so we'll see.
We can cook, but yeah, bear with us. If it come out up, then...
Yeah.
I mean...
that's just what it is.
It's just what it is. Actually, no, we're going to eat that
It'll be good. I mean, we'll make it good.
Yeah. That was a lot of ingredients.
Yeah.
So we're going to eat it.
We're gonna figure it out.
We're going to figure it out. So stay tuned. We're going to cook.
Show you guys the food, because the food is always good.
And then we are going to...
Answer some questions.
Talk about our mental health and some things that we do. So, be back.
How'd you leave me falling short? Why yesterday you let me go and said the night was yours. What can I say to make sure that you won't just leave again? You'll be my forever. Speeding it up, slow it down, let the music play. Feeling the beat from the sound, it just takes you away. When you get lost, when you find the time to escape. Time you gave away, but we're still finding our way. So where do we go when the sunset is leaving? The dark skies are brighter when stars light the evening. Where do we go when we can't find the reason? Where do we go when we're lost and we're dreaming? used to move. Our bodies are different, yeah. But we could be surrounded by some real love. Open up to beautiful things. Night skies and good vibes will be our everything. Sing that I won't hold back or go back, but I'm unsure. So where do we go? And where do we go? Where do we go? And where do we go? Yeah,
Hey guys,
Welcome back.
welcome back.
All right.
Alright, so we made some casserole.
You don't like that
I
word.
don't,
Casserole, broccoli, cauliflower casserole. It came out
Spinach.
really, really good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It came
We
out
tried
hella
it.
good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Mhm.
So good. And then we made some, is it field roast?
Field roast
Sausage.
vegan sausage to go with it.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's dig in and let's get into the conversation. What are we talking about today again?
Today we're talking about mental health.
Okay. It's Mental Health Awareness Month.
We just took a mental health break
We did.
just to recenter.
Everybody needs to do that every once in a while.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's worth it. Yeah. I think something else we should probably do. We should link some
Help
some resources for
hotlines.
helplines and
Yeah.
things for people who may be going through mental crisis.
Yes.
So we'll link that below.
All right.
If I'm feeling emotionally challenged, whether that's depression, anxiety, fear, anger, sadness, whatever it is, I have been doing this a lot lately. I've been trying to meditate. I've been burning sage. And these are all things I learned probably in the last couple of years. I've been very mindful of when I'm in those emotional states. And a lot of times I will tell people that I care about who are close to me, like, hey, I don't want you to feel like I'm, gonna lash out on you or anything like that, but I'm going through something right now. Just allow me to have some space.
Yeah.
So I think for me, handling my emotional challenges is me being aware of them, taking space, and then doing my little self-care things. Like, meditating, listening to music, walking. I love to go on walks.
Right.
Quiet, alone time sometimes. And then if I need to, or if I feel appropriate, I can call somebody and vent and talk about the things that are bothering me. So that's what I do.
Yeah. I guess I do a lot of self-care. I try and do self-care almost all the time, not just when I'm going through something emotional. But honestly, I go through a lot of this stuff emotionally. I like to go through it alone. I like to process it in my own way. I don't, I'm very much like, I just need to be with myself right now and my animals and like, do my own thing. And so I handle it with myself.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a balance, just like there's a balance with everything. I mean, I think that there does come a time where you need to kind of sit with yourself so you can resonate and figure out how you can either deal with your own like emotional baggage, because sometimes without knowing it, you can drag other people into that. But also at the same time, like, you do have people that care about you and love you, and it's okay to reach out because like people will be here for you no matter what. But I also think that with that, there needs to come self-reflection because you need to be able to trust yourself and be with yourself.
And I think too, also addressing why you're in that emotional state, and sometimes like questioning yourself and challenging yourself to say, is this something that I am overthinking, or is this something that's genuinely bothering me that I really need to take a look at? Typically, I'm who I lean on, but I'm learning that that's, you need a village. It takes a village.
It takes a village.
It really does take a village. Like, really a village to, like, a village of good people who are there to help you. You know what I mean? And to support you in every way that you need. Like I said, I'm still trying to find that balance of how do I reach out to you without weighing you down.
Right.
You know, because there needs to be that awareness too of like when you
For
reach
sure.
out to somebody, make sure they're in a headspace. And I say this all the time.
Right.
Make sure somebody's in a headspace to deal with what you're about to throw on them too.
Right.
Make sure that they can handle that because emotions and energy is magnetic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
So if
definitely
somebody's
something that's transferred. Definitely.
so I can call you and just blab about my bad day, not
And
knowing
then,
what
like,
you've been through. And you can be totally fine sometimes. And you could just be like, damn, like now I'm having a bad day because Ty is somebody I care about.
Yeah. Other than like
So good.
become like super obsessed with my animals. I'm super obsessed with my cat and my dog. Those are my babies.
Those are her babies, y'all.
Those are my babies.
Those are her babies.
So that is just like, I can just, my cup is always full. But, or like not, I mean, I obviously deal with anxiety and depression and everything else, but I feel super happy when I think about my animals. So I do that. I do sage, you know, I do a lot of sage and meditation,
sage.
but I have to really do those things. I kind of have to do those things, I feel like, to stay healthy. So I don't really feel like they're kind of like routine. I kind of have to like, I can't really fall asleep without meditating. Like I get super stimulated throughout the day. I'm like, you know, like I have to do those things. And then I'm always trying to create. Like I'm always like, you know, like you're like, what are you doing? Like, painting.
You're always painting,
Yeah, like taking pictures of trees.
Putting the phone in the tree and taking pictures.
I don't know. I'm always doing something. I really like having photo shoots. Like literally like finding anything to like vandalize or paint or draw on. Or I don't know.
Very artsy, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I refill my cup. And then like I have really amazing friends out here as well that I've made that like, you know, we go on hikes. I love going out for coffee.
Coffee is your
Coffee is my shit. Coffee is my shit. You know coffee is my shit.
I feel like every time I text, I'm just having a cup of coffee.
I'm
going to the coffee shop. I'm going to Temple Coffee.
Yeah. But yeah, just doing different things. I like learning. I learned some coding stuff today.
Oh yeah,
which was
you
super
did.
fun. That was so fun.
Coding is cool, yeah.
Yeah, so just, I don't know, learning something new every day.
What triggers my anxiety, I think most people's anxiety is triggered by fear or lack of control over any given circumstance or perceived lack of control.
For sure.
I think is what it is. And there's a fear of consequence, you know, so I think that's kind of a trigger for everybody. That's a trigger for me when I feel like I'm not in control of something, or I feel like I can't fix whatever's happening, or there's no foreseeable solution to whatever's happening. That triggers me to panic, and that triggers me to worry. You know, whether that's I'm in a situation where I'm in an enclosed room, which I have a really big problem with, like tight confined spaces. So like elevators, I get anxious. You know, even if I try to, you know, when I'm cool and chilling, I'm still
Like, bro, what if this elevator just stops?
Yeah.
you know, or like me being in a crowded room with a bunch of people, like, hey, what if somebody shoots? Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, where do I run? Or even sometimes driving. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh
Like,
my
driving
God.
gives me anxiety because it's not only are you worried about accidents, but you're worried about being pulled over.
No.
And, and
I'm have the worst driving anxiety.
right, yeah. And I mean, even for me, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and go there for a second. Like, being a man of color and driving around sometimes is scary because you never know, like, what if I get pulled over and I may not make it home? You know, or even, you know, black women, anybody, you know what I mean? Like, you always have that fear of, like, when I go somewhere, I could just go to the store, but what happens if I don't come back, you know, for something simple? In terms of depression, I think, I actually, like I said earlier, I like being alone. I'm very much an introvert, but I think sometimes too much of that gets me in a depressed mode when I feel like I'm alone, because when you're alone, the only company you have is your thoughts. You know what I mean? And your thoughts can be really great and you can manifest some great things, but you can also manifest some really bad energy. And I think a lot of times anxiety triggers my depression because I get depressed about the fact that I can't fix whatever A, B, or C is.
Yeah.
So I'm learning to be more, I'm learning to let things go that I don't have control of.
Yeah.
You know, if there's not a foreseeable solution that I can attain, then I try my hardest not to worry about it. And I've gotten really good with that lately. You know, sometimes it doesn't always work. Sometimes it doesn't. But I have gotten better with kind of reeling myself into being like, okay, if you cannot fix this right now, then there's no sense in worrying about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. A very simple answer for me is like, I think definitely I'm a little bit of a control freak, and I'm a little neurotic, so I'm just like always trying to be. I want to know that stuff.
I want to like control it. I want to what? I'm just saying, you do. Okay.
And so that definitely. So when that starts to slip away from me, I start to feel
the lack of control.
Yeah, the lack of control. But I think that like it's not really the lack of control. I think. No, it is the lack of control. But what can control that for me, I feel like, is communication. Communication. I'm so big on communication. I like have an easier time dealing with transition when someone's communicating
somebody tells you
with me. Yeah, because otherwise it's like I don't care. But like if you talk to me or you tell me, like it's like cool. Like you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, and we've been down that road.
Yeah, for sure. Like I don't care, and I just like I like to have open communication. I think I would consider myself an empath. Yeah, I think it's really easy for me to like absorb other people's emotions. I think the thing is with me is I internalize it a little bit, and then like it just sits with me, and that's one of my triggers, I think. So I just end up carrying all of this stuff, and then I end up doing things for other people that are just like super crazy, and I just end up like taking on everyone's stuff, and it just becomes like, you know, because I even will call you and be like,
listen to this, I'm dealing with this.
and like, so it's a lot. It's definitely a lot, but I would definitely consider myself more like an introverted and internalized empath. Yeah.
Definitely. This goes back to earlier about like the transfer of energy.
Yeah.
I think in being an empath, sometimes that's inherent to you. It's picking up other people's even if you don't want to, even if you know you shouldn't. It's hard for you not to pick that up.
Right.
I have had people text me stuff that had absolutely nothing to do with me, or call me and tell me something that had absolutely nothing to do with me, and I will find myself getting up, walking around, trying to find solutions for them. I think I'm an empath, but I'm learning to find balance, and part of that is setting boundaries. Yeah. For yourself and letting other people know, hey, these are my boundaries, and not necessarily telling people like I'm not available for you, but just saying like, hey, like. Again, it goes back to what I said earlier, checking in with people. Yeah. You know, like, hey, I'm not in a space to take that on right now. Do you mind if, you know, we talk about this another time? Or do you mind giving me a little minute to process what's going on instead of just taking it without saying anything back?
I think a very common theme in the like Black, Afro-Latinx, like any POC community, like it's not really something that's that talked about or acknowledged. And I would say that. And even like, I mean, even your personal things, it's like you don't tell people what goes on inside of your house. You don't talk about it at school. Like that is not their business. Like, and it could be super simple stuff. Like, but the point is, it's just not their business. And so I think that was a big thing that I had to deal with too. Just like realizing that it was a thing, like it wasn't all in my head. Like depression is a very real thing, and anxiety, general anxiety, like that's a very real thing. You know, like and so that was just something that it took me a really long time to overcome that.
I think a lot of the stigmas that we face as people of color really is a lot of this is rooted in shame and embarrassment. Yeah, and being oppressed. It's because you don't want the people, don't want people who are not oppressed. And it's also just the consequence as well, you know, it's the consequence. It's because people of color, you know, especially Black people, you know, their consequences are significantly worse than their white peers. So I just think that's another thing too. It's like out of fear, it's like do not talk about your business. Do not talk about what you're going through. Like, you know, if you tell someone else that this is what you're going through, they're going to think that you don't have the proper resources at home, and our consequences will be worse for that. Then that's true. That is actually really true. I think it's shame, it's fear, it's embarrassment, it's consequence, you know, and it's severe consequences. It's not just, people are going to look at me bad. It's like, I may lose my children, or I may lose my home, or I may lose something valuable to me too. You know? Going through something that everyone is going through and should be able to talk about. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I think everybody,
Yeah,
anything you've
human.
been through, and I wouldn't even say necessarily trauma, just your childhood experiences.
Yeah.
Trauma, I think, does shape everything you do. I don't care what age you are.
Sure, yeah.
But significantly, I think it has the most impact on your decision-making quality as a child, because that kind of frames how you view the
Literally
world.
shapes your brain.
It shapes your brain, and I think that's what causes a lot of triggers for people. That's what causes a lot of relationship like patterns that people have with others, you know, or even toxic behaviors that I normalize.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we do. I don't think a lot of people talk about that. Like, we normalize a lot of that's
we talk
not
about
normal.
that all the time.
We do.
Like, it's almost like
You will normalize some stuff.
like even you will normalize like the feeling of being sad, even because
it's
like,
normal to you. That's all you know.
Yeah, like this is just the way it is. Like no, like that's not normal. Like you gotta course correct that.
And it's never too late. You know,
Exactly.
I think sometimes we get in these lifelong patterns, and we're just like, you know what? Well, this is just the way my life has been for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
So this is just my reality. You know, and we don't really do anything to try to fix it. If anything, we just try to survive in that reality. We don't try to go outside of it and really find action-oriented solutions and find people, you know, to build our village so we don't have to feel like that. So we don't have to internalize that.
Like, yeah, I think that's with every human. I mean, your experiences, especially your trauma, they shape who you are. They shape what makes you comfortable, the way that you communicate. The way that in like all of the ways, verbally, non-verbally, like that's just makes up who you are. That's just what it is. I don't know. We're human. Hey, thanks guys.
Thank
it was
you
good to see you guys.
It was good to see y'all. Couple quick things. We want to thank, like I said, thank again our followers, our subscribers, people who have been interacting with us. We appreciate you guys so much. Like I said, we are a small YouTube channel. We are growing little by little, day by day. We appreciate all the support and the love and the sharing our stuff and commenting on it and liking it.
And following and liking and subscribing and hitting the bell and telling your friends to follow and telling your mom to follow and telling your
dad and your grandpa, everybody.
Yeah, quick shout out to Matt Palefsky.
Shout
out Matt Palefsky. He just started his YouTube channel. He's doing like a vlogging around Northern California type of.
You know what? Shout out to AJ too.
Yeah, shout out my baby AJ. Yeah,
Why?
her link will be
Because
below
we love
too.
her.
We love her.
She's got a fabulous new hairdo. Y'all will see
Oh
it soon.
my god. Boy.
Here, and you know what? Shout out to Rob. We'll put Matt, AJ, and Rob's
Rob,
YouTube down
who
below.
else? Yeah, anybody else got a YouTube?
I mean, shoot, who got a YouTube that we know?
Who else? Tyriana, I'll shout you out. That's
Shout
one of my
out.
friends.
Hit some, you want to see some dope YouTubes?
Yeah, we'll
You
put them
can
all
put
below.
See them below.
Bunch of creative people making.
Brittney. Brittney has YouTube if you're interested in photography and modeling
we'll
and
put
like
hers
just
below.
visuals.
I hope we gonna remember
I'll
to
have a
put.
video going up there soon. Huh?
I hope we remember to put all the because
No.
we shouting other people
No.
out.
Oh, we're getting excited. Rob, Matt, AJ, and Brittney. Yeah.
Oh, and Neek.
She's so beautiful.
My friend Neek, my friend's friend Neek. She just started a YouTube channel. Hey Neek, I'll put her channel below too. She's got a little vlog and some other stuff. I'll try to be very thorough in the description box because we got a lot of stuff we're gonna be putting in the description box. So like, comment, like, comment,
Share,
subscribe,
hit the bell. Tell your friends to share.
Follow us on Instagram at VegPotSoul, at VEGPOTSOUL. And we are glad to be back. We're glad to be back. And me too. We'll see you guys in our next video. We got a lot of good content coming up.
Bye. Peace.